Hello, welcome to CarCast. I'm Matt, the moderator, DeAndrew, here with Bill Goldberg. You're back in the office,
Yeah,
dialing in the Cobra. So I know it's been a lot of Cobra talk, but
I crawled in here away from the Cobra.
more late nights, guys getting just obsessed with getting it done, and limited amount of availability. Like because you have Clint come over, and sometimes Manny comes over, and they got to do it maybe after hours or something. So, but
When you
fortunate
when
to
you
have those
get it,
guys available.
you take advantage of it. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't know Manny was going to show up last night. Clint comes over about 6 p.m. and it's turned into a dinner thing, right? And I don't per Clint, I usually don't have snacks at the garage because, I just get focused and I don't think about eating. But we've been going right through dinner. And so last night, for instance, hey, is Clint still here? Yes, honey. Would he like dinner? Absolutely. How about Manny? Manny's not coming. 20 minutes later, Manny shows up. So Manny eats my dinner, right? So it's been a revolving carousel of, like I say, whenever I can get him, I'll take him. Fortunately, I've got some time right now, and we're shaking this thing down, and it's taken a long time, but it's fun time. Uh, it's not
Yeah.
like sitting and having to do brake lines. It's or having to install a clutch. It's, hey, we need to adjust the shocks because it's rubbing when I'm
Yeah.
turning to the left or whatever. So it's just fine tuning stuff.
So
Moving
now the
steering.
process is like you're getting in the car with, Manny or Clint or somebody, and you're trying to drive the car around the garage, around the property, I don't know, off the property, just somewhere around to see how it reacts, how's the suspension, how's the
You got to
engine.
shake, you got to shake everything down.
Yeah, the brakes feel good,
Everything.
steering feels
Everything's
good.
new. So I mean, uh, I had some guys over. So there's a shop next to Manny's that's next to Clint's, and it's called Snake Eater, and they do all my stuff, which is 60s and 50s
Yeah.
to modern muscle car. That's all they do, American muscle car. And I met them when I met Manny, and I told them as we walked through that there's going to be a time when Manny's going to pass the baton to you when we get done with this Cobra. And it's going to be time to work on every carbureted car in my garage, get everything running, wheel cylinder, everything, whatever it may be. And so we're driving the Cobra and the carburetor, we can't get it to idle. And Kent Waters, who built it for Ernie, uh, loves to FaceTime with me because I'm his pupil, right? And
Yeah.
but this is something that I want to learn real time, hands on. So I called these guys at Snake Eater, and it was time to pass that baton because the car's ready,
Yeah.
99%, but it's not tuned, and we need a guy with a good ear, right, and experience. And I joked to Manny and to Clint that I guarantee you we were having so much problem we couldn't keep it running. I couldn't feed enough fuel to it to keep it idling. And I said, I guarantee you Brad's going to come over with a screwdriver and it's going to take him 5 minutes and he's going to get this thing running perfectly. Well, lo and behold, it was even less than that because we had a vacuum leak, right? So
Oh,
without
yeah.
the air
Okay.
cleaner on, the screw holding the air cleaner on it creates the vacuum. But we didn't even think about that. Manny and Clint and I had brought it up, but we couldn't find it. It was right in front of our face. Brad puts his hand over the carburetor, the primaries, and
Yeah.
then the secondaries, and then it's a vacuum leak. So he puts his finger over the hole, tunes the carburetor. Takes him 3 minutes. So it's good to now be able to have those guys come over and work on my classic stuff, all the carbureted stuff, because now I can learn from guys who know by sound, who
Yeah.
uh, I am so jealous of these guys who can tune a carburetor, you know, in a minute. It's such a fine art, but it's so easy to learn, I would imagine. I've got to learn it, and I'm going to be like a kid in a candy store out here.
Yeah. I meant to ask before, is there Is there a dyno in town? Does anybody
Yeah.
have a dyno shop? Because I'm curious. I mean, also part of the tuning process, one, yeah, I think we're all kind of curious on what kind of power that Cobra is actually making.
Mhm.
So it'd be interesting to see that thing on a dyno. But the other cars in the garage you're talking about, as you get them up and running, and how do they run through the gears? Some are manuals, maybe some automatic, and uh, doing that process on a dyno. And, 'cause some of those cars aren't about big power, they're just about drivability.
Absolutely. And, case in point, yesterday when I take the Cobra out and I take a right down my road, and there's a monstrous mansion at the end of the road, and they have 18 wheelers coming in daily. And so I didn't even think about it, but the road's kind of crap to the right, all pebbles.
Yeah.
No. So the moral of the story is, and you bring up a great point. It's a great thing to have access to a dyno. I'm not going to chew my tire, my brand new competition, Goodyear tires. I'm not going to chew them up on the road. I'm not going to, there's so many advantages to having a dyno, and especially in a car like the Cobra, because as I'm talking to Beatty, uh,
Yeah, the clutch guy.
how do you realistically break a car in that since 94 only has 20 or 250 miles on it?
Yeah.
You Every time I drive that car, I drive it hard. And so how am I going to break that new stuff in? So a dyno is a great option.
Yes, it is. The the twin turbo Mach 1, when I had that, when I would take it to full throttle customs and Ray was tuning it, yeah, we wanted to get the dyno numbers on it, but he spent, I don't know, a day, like a full day, maybe day and a half on dialing in that tune throughout the power band. It wasn't all about wide open throttle. It was about how does it cruise? Like, are there,
I bitch and moan at Gearhead because when I get my cars back, they don't take them on the road very much. They'll test them on the track. But I have 300 miles on it or
yeah,
400 more miles on it. I'm like, where the hell did you go? He goes, I didn't go anywhere. I was on the dyno tuning your car.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
makes
that's a good point, right? The, you know, you're on the dyno for a day and you realize, oh, they're doing some passes, they're doing some
yeah.
cruising speed stuff. Because so when we looked at the dyno graph for the Mach 1. Separately, we looked at all of his files where he's looking at the air fuel ratios and where is it at idle, where it is at wide open throttle. Are we cruising? Are we burning too much fuel at cruising speed, wasting fuel for no reason? Like, can we lean it out a little bit? Like, or what does it need? And to get that drivability, and also like as you do like a partial throttle acceleration, like onto an on ramp, like at a freeway or something like that. Do you get any like little hesitation, or is there any drops in power or anything like that in there? And you will notice that.
Well, I would
Yeah, you
imagine
got to
the
dial in
best
that
way to
tune.
maximize your tuning is to be able to do that. Either that or
Yeah,
do like I'm doing, but you have to have a guy with a laptop that's connected, sitting in the passenger seat, looking at all the gauges and looking at this, and how practical is that? So yeah, dyno,
honestly,
there's two up the
that's
street.
that's part of the fine tuning as well. Is that something that Ray would do as well? Would be get it out on the street and then drive it. Once it's done what he's need to do on the dyno, then make sure you drive it on the street and it
Well,
feels
yeah,
the same.
a dyno's not going to tell you if you're going to rub in your right rear because your shock's not.
Yeah, and his dyno is good. It's a Mustang dyno where it has a load. You can simulate the load, so it's not just freewheel spinning back there. But
That's
um,
prejudice. A
and
Mustang dyno? You can't
I
have
know it
a
confuses everybody when I say that,
What's with
but
that?
that's the brand of the dyno. And Dyno Jet good as well, and they have a load one as well that puts. Um, but yeah, so and then get it out on the street and do some fine tuning on it. it might be an interesting idea. So, all right, so you
Oh,
guys are
you have to.
getting you're in the Cobra, so like, maybe Clint comes over, he rides shotgun, you drive it a little bit, you start, can you make
Yeah,
adjustments while you're doing it? Or are you just taking notes while you're doing it? Like,
everything. What we're doing is, well, we're taking mental notes, but Clint will come over, and as much fun as it is being the passenger in one of those, he's completely locked into his screen. These Dakota digital gauges are great, man. I mean, the app that they have with it, you can monitor every single thing, and you can adjust while we're going, right? So, speed calibration, we're just doing all the basics at the beginning now. But, first and foremost, you're going to check our issue has been our shocks. Um, we had no
right.
clearance in the beginning now, or no, excuse me, we had like 6 inches of clearance in the beginning. Then we changed the shocks, changed the length of the shock itself, and then changed the springs. And so we've been in and out of the garage. We've probably taken it out 3 or 4 times to shake it down, whether it's the carburetor, everything.
But in
And
the
we've
rear,
probably
there's
been in
four
the garage
shocks.
5 or 6 times to just adjust the shocks, and we've adjusted them, at quarter-inch increments. And because I don't want to go too high, too much of a gap. I want to teeter right on the edge, but I think we're about there. It's a tedious process, but it's got to be done.
Right. So, as we mentioned before, in the back, it has like, I guess they're kind of inboard,
Yeah, got the inboards, the
and
Jaguar.
there's four coilovers back there, two on each side for that independent rear. Um, it's just
One's inverted, one set's inverted, remember?
one set's inverted. That's a clearance issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a clearance issue. So would they react the same inverted? Not exactly the same, I don't think.
All I can say is the only reason why I even knew it was an option was from the manufacturer. I've been dealing with them from the beginning. They say there's absolutely no issue. And if you have clearance problems,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
you could do it.
why people do it. But
But did they
I don't.
say the inverted one would
I
have?
wouldn't think by any stretch of the imagination that he would suggest for me to do it if the performance was different or less. But I mean, logic's probably going to tell you that it's going to react differently being inverted. I don't know.
Yeah, because when you change the angle of the coilover, it effectively changes the spring rate slightly.
Well, I
And I'm
would imagine. Yeah,
thinking, and I'm thinking if one's inverted, then maybe this
the spring rate
this
would be the
it,
same.
it should be the same if
It
it's
would
at
be
the
the
same
same.
exact angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if you thought that it wasn't, you could invert the other two. Is there a clearance issue if all four were inverted?
No, that'd be great. It'd be a hell of a lot easier to adjust them.
Like you could
Maybe I
just
should do
invert the
that
other
anyway.
two just to,
Yeah.
if
That's a
there's
great
no
idea.
clearance issues and you have better access to the to the the coupler to adjust it.
Oh yeah, me and the
Not
couplers have become really good friends. And the
Yep.
tool to adjust that, somebody's got to come out with a better tool.
Yeah, there's
It's
there's
freaking horrible.
the tool that like they send you and it has like little grooves and it snaps on and go, but it doesn't have like big enough teeth on it. You ever notice? And uh, yeah, it's just I've noticed it too because I've done like KWs, which I love. I did KWs on my BMW, my E46 BMW, and then I got Chiquiko I got Taquitos on the red Mustang, but a Maximum Motorsports coilover conversion.
Mhm.
And each of those guys sent like a tool
Mhm.
to adjust that.
No one's got a good one.
And yeah, it's like it needs like more of a like it can't be
It needs
super thin and the teeth like so thin. It
My
just
problem is not the front tooth. My problem is the rear and keeping it flush with the nut, right? Because it always wants to, and I can't see, so it's just by feel.
yeah,
And so to keep it flush, then you can crank it. If it's not flush, then every time,
every
right?
time the tooth slips off.
I
Yeah.
hate it. I
A
just
hundred
hate it.
percent.
But Manny taught me and I picked this up yesterday. Um, Dependent upon the spring and its tension, uh, he adjusted them by turning the spring itself, just by continually turning the spring as much
Yeah.
as he could until it compressed enough to where he couldn't turn it. But I'm like, what are you doing over there? I'm breaking my hand off with this freaking tool, and you're just spinning them with the spring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's
Right.
another.
And then there's another one that comes down and locks it, like another, like, yeah. Um, the threaded
And
coupler, there's two.
and and along the way, when I first started, when you start and you go the wrong direction, talk about a waste of freaking time. Because you put all this effort towards three or four cranks, and then you find out that it's the you're decompressing it instead of compressing it.
Right. If it's easy to spin, it's you're letting tension out. If it's
No
hard to spin,
question.
you're adding the tension to it. So I don't know.
It's a
Here's a thought.
pain.
If you have to go down there again underneath the car again to dial it in more, maybe flip those other two.
I might, man. I mean, it's such a pain in the butt to mount them. It's the rears are a lot easier than the fronts, but yeah, I might. If I have a problem again and I have to go in and adjust them, I'll call. I'm going to call them first and ask because I don't see any issue with it whatsoever. But yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Make it easier.
I mean, it might make it easier. Like if you got to go down there and well, two things is if you're going to flip them anyway, when you take those other two off on the bench, you can adjust them again. So at least like if you got to,
Yeah.
you know,
Believe me,
and then you could put them back up there. If you're like, well, if we're going to take them off anyway,
I've
we'll
come to the
flip them.
conclusion, and I probably stated this on the podcast before, that I can embark upon restoring anything after restoring this Cobra. Because anything, unless it's a mini or something, is going to have more space to work in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything.
It's gonna have some more space.
That's an understatement, says the little man. Oh,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, it'll have more space.
It'll have
Yeah,
more
I
space.
can't even put my freaking so here another when you're shaking things down, everything becomes apparent. The throttle's stuck.
Right. So you were
Imagine the
saying it
throttle
was,
sticking on my Cobra,
you
where
said it
the
was
pedal,
kind of,
where the clutch isn't adjusted enough to where I'm comfortable on it yet. So obviously, if the throttle sticks, what are you doing instantly, right? Other than shutting the car off, you're slamming the clutch. Well, if it's uncomfortable, it's a process, right? So that was terrifying. I depress the throttle and it hits the door, the peekaboo door, for the spark
yeah,
plug.
yeah, in the transmission tunnel.
Yeah, and so what I did, the first thing I did was, something cosmetic and something that looked better on the car. I put the Sparco pedals on, right?
Yeah.
The pedal covers, not the pedals themselves, but the
Yeah, yeah.
cover. Well, it's a quarter of an inch more than the existing throttle pedal had.
Okay.
So that's the quarter of an inch that hit the freaking door and stuck the throttle.
Oh, I see. Because
So
last,
yeah, all we
what?
did was take the pad off, and man, it's great now. No problem. Complete throttle response, kicks back and forth. I can't even with so I need a longer linkage rod because I'm not even getting full throttle right now. There's about, I don't know, half an inch that I'm not pulling. I can do it up at the linkage, manually, but through the pedal, I can't get full throttle. So firstly, thank God, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's probably not the
Right
worst
now,
problem to have right now.
I may never need it, but it would be nice to have it. So, that's
Right.
on the list
Right.
now.
So last week when we were talking, we were talking about the throttle linkage possibly hitting and was slightly hitting, but it wasn't getting stuck and it wasn't getting jammed up. But
No, but I
now,
rectified that because I took the adapt not the adapter, but the loom, the loom, what do you call it? The ones that hook the plug wires together.
yeah, just the wire looms. Yeah, for
Just a
the
loom, but
clip for the
these
spark
are,
plug wires. Yeah, the
yeah,
separators, the wire separators.
wire separators, but these are the race kind, right? So they mount to the head, and then they have the piece that hooks to the plug wires, and
Yeah.
then You can adjust it. Well, I just completely took it off,
Yeah.
which in itself was a pain in the ass to get to it. So I had to take the linkage off just to get to the bolt, and so now we've got full pedal. It's normal now. And actually, the route that I have now is much smoother than it was in the beginning,
Okay.
when I first got the car. So,
But then when you put the pedal cover on, then it would hit. So that
oh yeah,
stuck. So then you took the pedal cover off. And then I don't know, can you move it slightly or shave it down? Or if you want to use that pedal cover, you can.
it was purely aesthetics,
Yeah.
and I don't care. I could care less.
Yeah. You can just
Plus,
put it on a grinder and just,
nobody can see the freaking pedal
yeah.
anyway. It's so far down there, and it's in a tiny little cavernous hole. That I mean, it's not a front and center, piece of aesthetics. So I could care less. I don't care if it was pink or purple, man. It doesn't matter as long as it works, as long as it's functional. So now it's functional. I just have the little tiny pedal. So yeah, that was our issue. And I mean, it's just one thing after another. The rev limiter's set too low. We had no idea where to set it in the beginning. So I take it out on the street. I, shift from first to second. I hear it instantly. The clutch, it's a quad disc clutch.
Yeah.
Chatter is going into first gear. Is it the throwout bearing? Is it the clutch itself? Well, no, it's just the characteristics of that quad disc clutch, right? And shifting from any other gear, it's butter, absolute butter. It starts off with a little chatter. So what? It is what it is. So we're just learning the ins and outs of what we've
Yeah.
got, dealing with the Dakota Digital and dealing with, setting up all the gauges and, it's fun, applicable stuff. We don't have to be laborious and do brake lines right now. So,
You
uh,
talked to Will Beatty about the clutch as well? Yeah.
absolutely. These guys hate to talk to me right now. No, they love talking to me because they're walking me through the cool parts. Um, kid, I gotta
Yep.
call a bitch at kid about that fifth gear because, like I said, I don't think I'll ever be. I'll be on the gumball rally going 180 miles an hour down the I-5, I think, and I'll hit it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's neat to have it, and the transmission is great.
Yeah.
Um,
But this was a packaging issue. It's like trying to get the 6 speed in there, which you weren't going to use anyway, as you're saying.
God,
But it's a bigger transmission, and having the TKX, the smaller case, the packaging, the multiple shifter locations,
yeah. I mean,
the
again, I'll
torque
be honest.
capacity, like it's a home run. And as you said,
For
Manny does it
me,
now on all of his.
well, yeah, and for me, I've learned that TKX is a wonderful package because of the reasons that you just said. But for me, I only was lusting after it because I could move the location of the shifter,
Yeah,
and it would fit.
yeah.
The
If you don't
fact that it
use the
had
fifth
another
gear,
gear, so what? I didn't care.
yeah, it
I didn't
solved the
really.
issues of driving that car.
Absolutely. Now it's really comfortable. Now it's to the point where I must admit it's it's even more scary because I'm comfortable in it now. And it's a driving experience as opposed to like a monkey humping a football. I was extremely uncomfortable in there before, whether it's the steering column and the location, whether it's the steering wheel itself, because it was the old style, wooden wheels where
Yeah,
you have to two-hand it just to turn the damn to get a grip on it. So I mean, there's little tiny things to suspend. Every single thing that we did to it turned out to be fantastic because it gave us the things that we didn't have, which ultimately is comfort. And when you're comfortable in a car, as you know, the driving experience not only is more enjoyable, but it's more uh, if it's performance oriented, you tend to push it a little bit more because of the comfort level. You don't feel uncomfortable,
right.
right?
There's a
If you're
confidence level as
uncomfortable in
well.
a really wildly high horsepower car, you're not gonna push it as far as you would if you were like, oh man, this is great. Let's go, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
I'm
just
just
a
trying to
tone.
picture you and Clint riding side by side in that thing.
Mm, yeah, it's pushing it. It's truly testing the shocks. I
Yeah,
can tell.
that's what I was gonna say. That's why it feels like it's sagging or whatever in the back is two big dudes in there.
Yeah, man, we're testing the threshold of the Bilsteins.
All right. Well, listen, it sounds like it's getting there, like you said. I mean, now that you sort of talk about it out loud, it's it's cool as shit. Like it's turning out to be
It's freaking awesome, man. It
just
truly is beyond what I originally set it out to be for me. Because I didn't really think that I would be that comfortable ever in that car. Without now I have to point the finger at me. An issue with the footwell is that when I installed the carpet for the first time ever in a car, I put too thick a padding in it. So that reduces my heel travel,
yeah,
up and down on the clutch. So if I'm depressing the clutch with these big 14s, I need every bit of space I can so that my heel doesn't catch on the little footwell that's recessed in there, right? Because now I'm depressing the clutch and the heel's catching on that corner edge and I can't fully depress it. So it's little things like that. And then I tried to go no shoes, and oh my God, a quad disc, and
no,
it bit right through my, it tried to embed in my foot.
yeah,
So I mean, hey, the pluses are far outweighing the minuses. The minuses, as I told Manny and Clint and Brad yesterday, the minuses have all been really small. We have no leaks in this thing.
yeah.
Like
That's good.
the brakes are performing well. I've got to break them in, quite obviously. Everything, excuse me, everything that was added to the car and changed on the car is great. The things that are apparently small problems now, i.e., the windshield frame, are things that were existing prior to us changing the things that we did on the car.
Yeah, right.
And the frame, how are you going to fix the window frame? We've tried like 10 different times to do it. So it's metal, obviously, and it's got the glass in it. So it's obviously curved a certain way from the factory. Well, these cars aren't exact by any means.
Yeah,
And so I've got gaps. We've adjusted, there's two bolts on either side of the frame of the windshield, and we've adjusted them forward, backward. I've pulled on it this way, that way. Four guys trying to manipulate it and mold it to where it fits on the man. I can't get it to fit. So I can literally almost stick my finger underneath the dash and I see it up under the molding, the rubber molding on the other side of the metal. And so how do you fix that? That's the question of the day.
so
How do you
my
fix that?
my thought would be, right, because that fiberglass body, it's not going to be perfect compared to the window frame. And I maybe so it's fastened on the ends, maybe it's touching in the middle, but somewhere along the sides where it
It
curves, is
ain't
that
touching
where
in the middle.
it's
It's
not
it's
touching?
like it's like this. So
Yeah.
imagine this finger is the body.
Yeah. And it's up like that. So
Yeah.
underneath, what might be interesting, here's just the thought, would be the entire window frame when it sits on the body of the car, it needs something between the body and the window frame. And how do you mold it to shape and how do you do whatever? I'm thinking you scan it and 3D print it and you make a piece
A
like a
piece
like a
of a piece
plastic
of
piece, like the width of the car. You could probably do it in two or three pieces that kind of come together, but you would
it has to be
scan it, look
so
at the
thin
gap,
though.
and then you would 3D print, like a plastic or some type of, depending on the durometer of it, like you want hard or soft or whatever, like give it a little bit of squish. Like when we 3D printed
But
the
you're
the
not
door handles
fixing.
on my truck, we made gaskets for. I was like, we don't. I was like, and the I'm sorry, for the mirrors. I was like, well, you can't buy the gaskets for making a new thing. He's like, no, no, I'm going to 3D print gaskets. He made like a plastic gasket that has a little bit of give to it, right? He 3D printed looked like a flat gasket,
Yeah,
had the holes cut
Clint
out.
did that for me for the shifter.
Yeah. Um, maybe you 3D print a piece that fits underneath the windshield frame and between the body. And maybe it's like three
Do you know
pieces that
how
come
thin
together
that would
because of
have
the
to be? It would have to be so thin at the ends, but it would have, I mean, that's band-aiding it. I'd like to get the frame. I'd like to be able to bend the frame somehow to where it fits more flush on the body
But
because
then the glass might not fit.
it's a symmetrical gap. It's not rigid in that it touches here and touches there. No, it's completely straight across. And it arches, though, obviously, because of the contour of the car. But it's just that much, man. And it's covered. You can't see through it because of the molding, the rubber molding that's on the front of the frame that is hangs off. It goes into the frame, and then once you mount it, it hangs over it, right?
Mhm.
my my references are horrible, but it hangs over it and it makes the transition flush. Well, that covers the hole or the gap. So unless you know it, you don't know it's there. But my issue is, what if wind got under there somehow? Or I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't like it not flush, first off,
Yeah.
and just and it wobbles a tiny bit because it's not flush. So maybe your idea about a gasket.
Yeah,
Um,
like you 3D print a gasket of some sort.
because
Maybe it's
it's
just
got one
off to
on
the,
the front and the back, but if it had one right at the flush, the bottom of it, that would be the ticket, I would think.
I mean, if you bend the frame, the windshield's probably not going to fit the way it fits too.
Absolutely.
If you if you take the windshield frame off and then you add metal to it and then re-cerakote it, that's how you do it in metal. But, you know,
Yeah,
I-
it's just one of those things in dealing with a custom car that certain
if
pieces
you
aren't.
3D print some pieces, it at least tell you if it fixes your issue or not. And then you can go, all right, do we want to make something official? Do we want to, leave these pieces in here? Do we, is it taking the wobble out? Is it filling the gap? Is there something that we can, was it capable of doing? Did we 3D print like two or three pieces? Because if it's hidden like behind like a rubber gasket or the molding or something, now you can maybe from the inside or whatever go, yeah, maybe if we 3D printed a piece here,
I'm going
does
to be
it?
perfectly honest with you, and I'm not even going to go to the 3D printing thing. And you already gave me an idea. I'm going to take the frame out, I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm just going to get the 3M double stick freaking molding that I put for the trunk, for that I put for the doors, and I can carve it out. I can trim it down to
Yeah,
where, it's thinner here and thicker there, and that's going to fix it.
that'll fit that. Right, because you're just trying to fill the gap.
That's
And
it.
what I'm saying is like I agree with you completely. I like where your head's at. Take it off, try some like double stick tape or something, see if it fixes the issue, and then you can decide if that's the permanent solution. At least you did
Exactly.
it cheap and easy and said, all right, what is it doing? Now the double
If you
stick
could
tape,
see
if
it,
it's
if you could see it, then I would worry about its aesthetics, but you can't see it.
yeah,
So there's no reason to not get the molding that you just pull the tape off of it and you fucking stick it at the bottom, right? And it'll form itself because of the distance
because
of the
it's a little bit
gap.
of foam tape. It's a little bit of like
That's
double
it.
stick foam tape. If you're just filling the gap, yes. If you're trying to create some more stability, it's
I don't
probably not
I
going to
don't
do that much.
if I
But
if I'm trying to create stability, then yes, I'll have somebody 3D print something that's like kind of a base for it,
yeah,
right? That has a groove to where the bottom of the bottom of the frame could sit in it, and it holds it from going forward or backward, right?
yeah,
I just don't think I need that. I think that if it had contact in the middle, and whether it was rubber, a quarter-inch piece of rubber, or whether it was carbon fiber, 3D printed plastic, that's all I need is to have the assurance that that gap is taken care of, whether it's from a pliable substance or whether it's from hard plastic or carbon fiber or whatever. But
yeah.
I just want the easiest route to make it
I
more functional than it is right now and
For
safe.
now, yeah,
Yeah.
shove something in there, some double stick tape or something, and
That's
see
basically what you
basically
what
what it
we're
is.
saying.
Just to see if it starts to fix the issue, and then you can figure
I
out
don't
like,
see I
hey,
don't see how that won't. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's just simple. Because, like I say, it's not a function issue. These four bolts are tight as dog shit, man. You can't get them any tighter.
Yeah.
Right? So the windshield's not going anywhere. It's not like it's going to move up or down. It's just the fact that it wobbles a tiny bit when I'm shifting this monster, right? Especially getting into first gear when the clutch chatters. It goes right. So I just want to get that out of it,
Yeah.
and it might be a little bit of a sound issue when I'm at speed on the road. So I think that definitely is going to work, like no doubt. So thank you for
All right. Well, there's your assignment for the day.
there's my assignment for the day.
Because
That'll
you don't
be
need the guys for that one, I don't think. You can take the
don't need the
windshield off
guys
and
for that one. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I
Um,
couldn't have done it without Clint, man, when the wiring. He used to work for Peterbilt.
yeah, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. And I mean, what better person to tackle the wiring? Newbern was going to come and do it, but his schedule didn't tie up, right? So he chimed in and I'm like, man, I got somebody on. I got my buddy on it. And Clint's taking it, man. They're having a lot of fun coming over here. I think sometimes they just show up because they want to show up and hang out, which is fine. But man, it's been such a fun process. I've learned so much throughout with these guys. It's been
Yeah.
great. Now they're like, what's next?
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're good
They
dudes.
really
Yeah,
are.
good guys. Because we've had them both on the show now at this point. They've
Yeah, they both have their own lives, but they've taken time to put aside some time when they can. Their wives probably love it. But it's just been the whole car experience, right? So this car forever, it'll not only be a car that I know that I touched every single bolt of. That's another thing. I was driving around and I found a bolt in the middle of the driveway. I knew exactly where it went.
yeah.
Exactly where it went. So I mean, yeah, it's all fun. And
Yeah.
like I say, it's a story. Every car's got a story, and this one, not only did I have everything to do with redoing it. It was a great experience along the way.
Yeah. Well, it's good. So when do we get to start seeing some videos and stuff? When do we start to see this thing in action? I know
I got a new
it's another
company together, and I've said this a trillion times in the past, but I think we're at the point now where I've got so much content and I've got a group of people that are going to work on it that it'll start coming out like ASAP. Like next week will be the first video drop. So hopefully I can get a schedule and get back on the horse and get this thing done properly because I obviously showed to everybody that I couldn't do it myself. So the body going on the the frame, that entire video will be next week, and then we will get everybody up to speed as to where we are currently with it, which is driving it and shaking it down.
yeah,
But I won't put the video of us overflowing the sump tank
the
and
sump tank. That's
and
okay.
so here's an example for you. My list was down to like three pieces, right? So breather tube, this, that. So I brought breather tube up, and Clint and Manny were like, Manny knew what I was talking about. It's on the gas tank, right? But I had forgotten how it was constructed in the original build. But I did remember that it was hardwired, right? It was hardlined. And so I only found the fitting by overflowing the gas and it puking out,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
going, oh, there's the breather too, right? So
Yeah.
I can strike that off the list. Then I picked up the phone and called Clint and asked him about it, and because I forgot about the routing, and then tried to find out if it needed to be hardwired, uh, or not hardwired, but
Hard
hardline.
line. Yeah,
And
yeah. You
then,
used a hard line for the breather.
yeah, but there's no reason to do that now. So we're going to get a 5/16 tube and put a charcoal filter at the end of it. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, a friend of mine introduced those to me, and he tried a few, and he's like, "This one's." Found one that he liked. There's a company making like those charcoal filters, and where you place them is kind of key, and really helps any of that fuel smell, that gas smell, and
so I
yeah.
affixed a 5/16 hose to it. It's about a foot, so it hangs down. So imagine Imagine, imagine changing the spring rate on four shocks with that blaring in your nose.
Yeah. That'll make your eyes water.
It was horrible. I mean, so you rectifying one thing and you have another issue. So
Yeah.
I called Clinton. He's like, shove it in the frame. I'm like, what? Shove it in the frame? But yeah,
Yeah. It needs to be a certain height.
I
It
found
need
that out.
Yeah, it can't. Yeah. There you
Yeah,
go. It needs to be like above the tank, the charcoal filter.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But you learn these things through trials and tribulations. And
Yes.
fortunately, as I said, the stuff that's gone wrong has just been little trivial stuff. I mean, I haven't blown anything up, haven't caught anything on fire.
Yeah. Listen, it's good. I mean, we knew you need to work out some of the bugs and fine tune it, but everything that you've been talking about uh, is is one step closer. Like each one is like a little win. You're like, oh, last week you were like, the throttle linkage hits the spark plug wires a little bit. I can live with it, but you know what?
I
You ended
fixed
up fixing it anyway.
it. Yeah.
It just got one of those things where you're like, I could fix this. This is dumb. I can fix this. Like, let's do it. Then you
Yeah,
tried the
one thing
pedals
one
that,
thing that came up was, and I'm really pissed off about it because I thought it was funny. When I'm driving around the garage and Clint's in the passenger seat or anyone else for that matter, if I hit a certain speed at a certain, G force, I can make their door fly open. So the fact that they fixed that yesterday, I'm pretty pissed off about that because that took the giggle factor out of my Cobra because I can't eject people immediately.
Yeah, but you were talking about the doors last week too, going, the mechanism for these things is not
It's
ideal.
horrible.
Like you gotta come up with something
Yeah,
different.
Manny hasn't put a Cobra out with these mechanisms on them, and I can't wait to change them. We spent an hour trying to adjust them last night. I can't stand them. It's the worst thing on that car, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's a little small thing, but when you're getting in and out of the car, testing it, shaking it down, I mean, you have to open that door 15 times. That's 15 pain in the ass, experiences. And it's just, it needs to go back to the old school. Just
What does Manny use as the latch on his doors?
don't know. I have no idea. I haven't even looked at them.
Yeah.
But I know they're completely different and they're archaic and they're extremely simplistic. So I want it, whatever it is, I want it because
Yeah. How are they mounted? Does it have similar mounting points or,
it
like,
does.
yeah.
Similar mounting points. It can transition right over. You're not going to have to fabricate a lot of stuff by any means. Use the same striker.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
Yeah. So that might be the solution there.
oh, it is the solution. I haven't seen it and I'm doing it because this one sucks so bad. It's absolutely horrible. It's almost as bad as the handles for the hood. Because if you remember, I don't know if you've ever taken a ride with me in that car, but prior, I'd have to adjust those handles at every stoplight. I have to go up over the windshield and tighten it up again because it shakes so much.
Yeah. Yeah. We
Oh,
drove that car down here in Bonsall before the rebuild.
yeah, it's so much different, man. Wait till you drive it. It's so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to plan a trip to get out there. Finally, check out the garage, see some of the new stuff. Say hi to Wanda, see
Yeah,
what's going on.
absolutely. It's changed exponentially, changes every week. But tell kid that our next project is the one that he so willingly helped me or is going to help me out with. Is that I want to drop that four speed or a five speed in the 2500, the truck.
Yeah. So SEMA's coming up. I've been working on booking some meetings, booking interviews, just who we're going to sit down with and grab a couple interviews while we're there. I'm trying to grab a little bit of everything. Yes, I'm talking to Mike Kidd from Tremec. We're going to go out and see his truck and
You
his
going to talk to
Mustang.
Bruce?
Canepa or oh, I'm
Maya.
sorry, Meyer. I don't know. I don't have an interview set up with him because we can do that here locally. So I was trying to grab people that I don't normally get to see in LA, but I talked to Mark Gerhart from Holly, Jason Angle, who's at Classic Recreations,
Yeah.
doing the Mustangs. He's got a new company called Trick Rides, and I think he's got like an all carbon fiber Maybe it's a 69 Mustang. I'm going to talk to him about that. I'm going to talk to Ring Brothers about their cars. I'm going to talk to,
Please tell them I said hello.
yeah, they're the best. We've been on the phone a few times back and forth. Um, Rockford Fosgate, they've got some stuff on the audio side. I'm going to talk to those guys as well. So, um, oh, even Escort radar detectors. They've got some new
Wow, they're
technology.
still around. I didn't even know they were still around.
It's a big thing, and they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And radar detectors, by the way, have gone like there are some sophisticated systems where the gear alone is like $4,000. Like if you're really
Yeah,
into it, it's you know. So
a lot cheaper
yeah,
to have a
just
good relationship with the police force.
yeah, it's a lot cheaper than doing that. But I just wanted to touch on that because I still know it's a popular item around the country in the States where it's it's legal or whatever. But yeah, so working on a bunch of that stuff to get that scheduled and yeah, our friends from Hero Covers, we're working on a cover for a Ring Brothers car, and because it's Ring Brothers and it's me. I love the hero cover guys, but I've already like you guys. I was like, don't. I was like, I need to get you specs and everything on this car because it needs to be
Has to be
perfect
perfect.
and it's hand built. Like you can't go, oh, it's similar to a Mustang or similar to this shape. It's like,
Okay,
no,
okay. In the same vein of your stress level in making sure that Cody and Hero Covers does every single detail perfectly, imagine building one for Bruce Myers' first competition,
yeah,
Cobra,
yeah.
which is what we're doing right now.
So
So I feel the same thing you do, believe me.
we did. I mean, we got the specs on the car. Fortunately for us, the rings had like a rendering of the car with the full measurement specs, not just like the length and how tall the car is and the wheelbase, but now they gave me like the length of the hood and the length from the front of the hood to like the heat extractors and the width of stuff and how high the hood is and how high the roof is. And so we can get a lot more measurements. And so Nancy Ring sent that over to me. She's like, you're probably going to need this. So I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. I can't believe you got all the measurements in here just nailed. So now I'm looking forward to that. And when they launched their cars, they had photo shoots done, and I think they had Larry Chen, who's the best in the business. He shot all the detailed photos of this car. So when I said, this is carbon fiber and this is what the HRE wheels look like that are custom built, and I was like, this is the it's like now you got all more photos, more details than you could possibly imagine. There's no
Oh yeah.
reason not to hit it. So
Yeah.
anyway, that'll be kind of cool to see that as well. But yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, I think we're out of time for today. You got your assignment. Work on that windshield.
Yeah, what am I going to do first? I don't know. It's funny, man. There's not too many things to run to right now. So
Yeah,
I guess I'm going to have to go to the windshield, but I
go to the
can't do
windshield.
the windshield because I'm by myself.
Well, you could
If I had one of those safe light
shift it a
things
bit.
that they have on their truck, I could do it.
Yeah, the little suction cup arm that moves the thing around. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
Idea. Okay,
All
buddy boy.
right. All right. We're gonna wrap things up, and we'll have next week. We got, I think, one more week here, and then SEMA. So SEMA week. We won't record a show in the studio, but I'll be recording shows while I'm out there and try to get them released. Some of them, not all of them, some of them during the SEMA week. So we got plenty of content for that. So one more week here in the studio, and then we'll figure out how we're gonna do the next. Thanks, guys. Until
I
next
should be
time.
popping wheelies in the Cobra by then.
I hope so. Until then, keep the air in the spare and the bag in the wheel.
Boom.